How's it going, everybody? This is Nathan at Kitten Equipment Company, Northern Kentucky, Greater Cincinnati's 5-paw premier coyote dealer. I've got another video today. Now that we're getting tractors back in stock this year, 2022, this is the Kioti CK10SE with the cab. So we do a video on a CK10SE, but I wanted to highlight the one with the cab specifically because we have it and we can. And it's a nice, pretty summer day. It's only about 80 degrees. It was 95 last week, so might as well. So I'm gonna do a quick walk around just like normal. We'll talk about the features of this thing, some specific quirks maybe, things that make this what it is, maybe some of its competition and so on and so forth. We'll start from the front. We'll go to the back. We'll get inside the cab and show you some stuff in there. So just like all the other CKs, this has a KL 4030 loader. It's got an 1,835-pound lift capacity. They do that about 5 foot off the ground, so around 1,700 pounds all the way to the top. I usually will tell people, you know, this is 1,200 to 1,700 pounds of, depending on how far your weight sits out. You know, you get pallet forks up here and you sit out some weight. This is reliably going to get well over 1,000 pounds all the way up. And that's going to compete with tractors that sometimes don't even have a 1,200-pound lift capacity to full height. So when you break 700 pounds with those, they might not be the best tractor for it. So it really does have a hefty lift capacity for its class. It's going to compete against Kubota's L Series or Grand L Series with the cab. It's going to compete against John Deere's 3 Series, Mahindra's 1600 Series, so on and so forth. So yeah, from the front, skid steer quick attach bucket is standard. We've got bucket level indicators standard. I always like to highlight how the loader lines are ran on these loaders. So nice big protective plate here with steel lines running. The flexible lines are all armored all the way back. On here you've got steel lines running all the way back on the inside, nice and clean. There's 2 bucket options. There's a 60 or a 66, and they're both the same price. Over here we've got a nice clean loader line situation, so they're nice and tucked up out of the way. That's what you want. A lot of these things you'll see loader lines dangling off the back like it's an afterthought, the loader, but this one, you know, is designed to accommodate a loader from the factory. Here's a big thing on all the CKs: steel hood, steel fenders, and that's even on the cab model. They're all steel, so no plastic here. We've got 4-wheel drive, obviously. There's no 2-wheel drive option. Nice heavy front axles. It's all cast. On a tractor this size, they still consider this a compact. You're going to start to see a lot of aluminum components, a lot of aluminum rear ends, and this is all cast iron. So very heavy. Your weight on this thing, when we fill the tires with the loader, is around 4,500 or 4,600 pounds. So it's really hefty for its class. Let's talk standard equipment. So this is an SE model. So it has a lot of standard equipment. Probably we'll start from the back because the rear end of this thing gets a lot. You've got standard extendable links. You've got pin type check chains. You've got the Kioti Special. You can raise and lower the 3-point from the rear. See that? You've got drawbar standard equipment, flip up PTO, rear remotes. And on a CK, if you can see it, you actually get 2 sets of rear remotes for the price of 1. So that's standard. You've got a detent and a spring type rear remote. You got toolbox. You've got, here's your windshield washer fluid for the front wiper. You've got a front and rear wiper standard, right? You've got cab work lights all the way around. All that stuff is standard equipment. And then inside the cab, let's see here. You can, oh, this is actually important. You can get in and out both sides of this tractor. There is not a step here, but you can get in and out both sides. So on some of these tractors, they've only got the door that opens on one side. I can see where that can create a couple issues. Some of them are safety related, some of them are, you know, just convenience. But yeah, cab doors both open on each side. You've got rear view mirrors. These are still turned around from the factory. But you've got cab rear view mirrors. You've got an internal rear view mirror. That's standard equipment. We are in this cab wired for sound. So this has heat, AC, radio. I mean, all that stuff is stuff that's standard. Well, the radio you have to add, but it's something we normally stick in. So consider the radio part of it. The tractors this size, sometimes you're only going to see have heat. They don't have AC. That's for the winter months of some of your northeastern states, or let's say Canada, things like that. They don't really need heat nearly as, or I'm sorry, need AC nearly as much as they need heat. They use these things a lot of winter months, and they get tons of snow. So this model, even for its compact size, has heat, AC, and is wired for sound already. It's really similar to the DK cab that's larger than it. It's really close to the same size, so it's a nice big spacious cab, and there's a lot of standard equipment in here too. So this is all CK10SE stuff. You've got your rear remote controls here, 3-point lift, loader control, and this is right there in your right hand. It has a lockout, so you can lock it and keep it from moving. It's push button independent PTO right there in your right hand. That's your wiper control for the front and rear. That's rear defrost. That is your cab lights. Cup holder, obviously, that's most important. Armrests are here. We've got the standard Kioti full suspension seat, but it is the cab, so this is a nice, I don't know the material. It's not a vinyl like an outdoor seat has to be. It's a little bit more comfortable. It's not quilted, but you know what I mean. Nicer cab seat. You have standard 4-wheel drive is mechanical. You've got your rear differential lock. You've got the dial that controls the 3-point speed. You've got hand throttle, forward and reverse hydrostat pedal, and these are mechanical linkage, just forward and reverse hydrostat as opposed to a rocker. You've got the brake right there. With the PTO function over here, you've got an automatic PTO that's included, and that basically just shuts the PTO off whenever you raise the 3-point up and then turns it back on whenever you lower the 3-point down. So there's a few uses for that. You have cruise control standard equipment. You have Kioti's linked pedal standard equipment, and that links the hydrostat pedal with the engine RPM. Over here you've got tilt steering lever, and then you've got your regular horn, turn signals, and headlights. So all that stuff is standard. Let me go over to the other side. You can see it a little bit better, and then we'll get up in there. So over here, and this is pretty cool. So I said that we usually do put radios in these. So this one doesn't have the radio in it yet. But you don't really need one. You can actually plug your phone right in to the cab, and as long as you're on this auxiliary sitting as opposed to the stereo sitting, you can play your phone right through the stereo that's already in here. So you can add an AM/FM radio if you want, but most people just plug their phone in and it works great. You also have 12-volt charging here, USB charging there, and you've got a little phone slot, some material, equipment or whatever else you want to put in there, tools, and a cup holder, a second cup holder. So inside the cab, this is a fully adjustable seat, suspension, as well as you can move it forward and back. It's really comfortable. I'm 6 foot, 235 pounds now that I've been married for 2 years. And it is a really nice, open, comfortable cab. For a compact tractor, I can fit in here easily. I can get in and out easily. I don't even have to really use the tilt steering wheel to climb in and out of the thing. It's well laid out. Everything's accessible. No real issues getting to anything. I mean, it's nice. It's a quality machine. And for the money, I mean, on their 0% programs right now, we're talking lower mid-30s. That's tires filled, loader and all. So compare that with your 40,000 plus or even 50,000 plus. Spec this guy out and just see. I mean, it's very, very good for the money. So this CK10SE, they make it in 3 sizes. They're all physically exactly the same size, but you're going to get a 25 horse, a 35 horse, or a 40 horse. And they're basically identical except for that engine horsepower. The 35 and 40 horse variant are post emissions, common rail engine with a computer. The 25 horsepower version, it's actually 24.7. That one is pre-emissions. So that's going to be your biggest difference between them. But all 3 are laid out the same way, virtually all the same buttons and controls, same lift capacities. So a little bit of a difference in dollar amount just for the horsepower, but otherwise very similar. So yeah, I don't think I missed much. Things you can add to this, the only real thing somebody would add to this thing would be a third function up front maybe. Everything else is really standard. The CK10SE has so much standard equipment that it doesn't really leave much to be desired. yeah, so we have a few of these in stock. We usually try to keep a few in stock. If you're interested, call us. Our phone number is 859-356-9091, or our south location, Dry Ridge, 838-8081. So, or visit us at kitenequipment.com. We'll have this video up there shortly. So yeah, my name's Nathan. I'm the sales manager here, and feel free to give us a call if you got any other questions. Thanks.